In this video, we will integrate with the backend. Okay. So far, what we have done, we have created a login form and we have done the validations also. And whenever we are clicking validation, we are doing this validation. So as part of now, currently we are hard coded username and password. Okay. If you are typing admin and click on login, then automatically we are logging into the application like a dashboard and all these things. But we should not hard code username and password like this. Okay. We want to remove this one and we want to integrate with our backend. Okay, so our backend, our Swagger is there. In the Swagger, we have an endpoint called demo API v1 user login. Here in the user login, you can click login here, and mainly it is required two details: username and password. If you are giving correct username and password, it will return the token. Okay, access token message. Let us try to give some username and password. Okay, for this reason, we have demo users here. Click on get users and try it out, execute. Okay, so here we get all the usernames. So here the username is abc@gmail.com and password is pw@some20.com. I'll copy these two users. Suppose even if I'm giving the two details here, it should log in. Okay, after our implementation, not right now, but let's try to go with this here. Try it out. Here my password is something here and my username is, I'll just copy it whatever the name. Okay, so here I have provided these two details, then click on execute. If my two details are correct, it is going to return one status word, some JSON. Okay, so if I yeah, this JSON will have a status code. That means what is your 200 means successful. Okay, and message like this is successfully logged in, and there is an access token. So this token is already we have discussed, right? What is this token? This token is nothing but a JSON Web Token, JWT token. If we have this token, that means we have a successful session is there. If we don't have the token, that means we don't have a successful token. Okay, and here you can know what is the user ID, and an important part is roles. So what is the roles here? We have it user underscore like role underscore user, role underscore admin. That means like suppose if you go to any company and if I go to bank, will they give any system to me? No, they will not give. My permission is only go and see the bank, or I can give any something like this. Suppose there is an employee is there. What he can do? He can go into the bank and he can sit in front of the system and he can access it. And there is a manager is there. Suppose what manager can do? Manager can log in any mission. He can transfer. He has all rights, right? So based on each user, they have separate permissions. Correct, right? So that permission name is nothing but a roles. Okay. Suppose here role underscore user means normal user. Role underscore admin means like bank manager something. Okay. So like this, if you have a admin, that means he has all permissions. If you have only user, that means he has only limited permissions. Something like this. In some application, they will have more roles also, like 10, 20 also will be there. That is fine. Okay. Something like this. Okay. Now we are able to log in, right? Okay. Let me go to here. Suppose there is a term called authentication. Okay. What is the term? Authentication. Authentication means whenever you want to identify yourself, like who you are, like whether your username and password is correct or not. Identifying the process is nothing but a authentication. How can you identify whether you are correct username or password? Here I will enter my username and here I will enter my password and click on login. If I am checking my username and password whether correct or not, that process is called authentication. Okay, and there is a second called authorization. If I go to that authentication and authorization, there is a one more term called authorization. Let me go to here and show you. Okay, okay, so there is another, what is authentication? Authentication is nothing but a checking whether the username is correct or not, password is correct or not. This process is called authentication. Authorization means suppose my username is password is correct only, but whether I am a bank manager or I am normal user, checking that privileges. Suppose everyone, like whenever we are going to office, attender will have ID card, engineer will have ID card, and admin also will have ID card. Everyone will have ID card. Okay, showing our ID card is like a authentication, whether this is a belongs to employee or not, whether his details are correct or not. That is a authentication. Once you go into the office, what you can do, you'll have some permissions, right? That checking the permissions is nothing but a authorization. Okay, whether particular user has a permission or not, and that process is nothing but a authorization. Whether your username and password is correct or not, that is a authentication. Once your authentication is done, whether you have a permission or not, checking that process is nothing but a authorization. We are going to do these two things. Okay, it is very important question. How are you going to do with authentication? Suppose if I go to ATM, how you are going to do your authentication? By PIN number. That is okay. Okay, something like this. And okay, let us see what we are going to do here. Okay, so first now here I'm going to write a login. So this is authentication or authorization? Authentication, because I am checking my username is password is correct or not. This is nothing but a authentication. So now we want to integrate with our backend, correct, right? So what is the URL here? You copy the URL in the Swagger, okay, and let's go to our code. So there is an endpoints.js is there, right? In the utils we have endpoints.js. Okay, let's go here and write the one endpoint, something like this. Okay, so I just copy pasted my URL here, Trinits Technologies, whatever the URL. Okay, this is my login URL. Okay, now we want to integrate with the backend. Let's go to my login component. Here, is there any hooks folder? No. First, we'll create one hook folder, then we'll do this one. Okay, let's create one hook folder. Hooks. Okay, right. So inside the hooks, what is the main file we are going to create? API.js. Okay, so here we want, what is this API? Whether this is a post API or get API. How can you verify what is this API? Post API. Here we can see, right, login. Inside the login, what is the API? Post. That means we need to write the post API. Let's okay, that is okay. So let's go to our code here and write a method. So we can say export async, okay, async function login API, something like this. Okay, this is a normal one. Okay, so now I want to, this data is nothing but a username and password. That is okay. So now I want to call my API. How can I do it? We can say there is a API already. We have done the, we are using the Axios, right? Let us see our Axios setup first. If you go to overall hooks, there is one JS file called API.js. Here we are using a import Axios. Inside the Axios, we are creating a Axios.create. We are storing that variable and which variable? API. So, and we are exporting this one. So this means we can use this variable anywhere in our project, correct, right? So that is the reason this variable I am going to use in our now this login.js file. Go to our login.js here. Okay, let's here and now let us import that file. So API, it is coming from the hooks. Okay, now which API we want to call it? A post API. Okay, post API. And what is the URL? Whenever we are using the post API, we need to send two arguments. First is the URL. Do you know what is the URL? Yes, we know that. What is the URL? Login URL, which is already we have declared in the endpoints.js. Correct. So I have given this one. And what is the second data I want to give it? Data, like if you see the Swagger, what is the data it is required? Password and username. Okay, let us see here, and I will say comma, I will say data. Okay, this is, it is going to return one promise. Whenever it is going to return promise, what we have to do now? We need to write it then. Okay, and then after then what we have to do? We need to get that response. I will say response, something like this. Okay, so now I have stored this one. So what we are going to do here, we will say console, already we are writing console.log, right? That is okay. So let me call this API. I will call this login API. Okay, go to my login component. So here inside the handle submit, already after the validation, here we are writing our code. If this is the condition, we are doing like this. Okay, else we are handling the error, something like this. Okay, well, now what we want to do, first we want to write the, we want to handle this error, something. I'll comment out for now. We don't want to use this code at all. Okay, here if there is no error, here what we want to do, I want to call my login API. Call login API. Okay, so this login API, it requires data. What is the data it is required? Username and password. So I will create one object here. I will say let payload is equal to, okay, something like this. This is an object, right? So inside the object, I will create the username, comma, password. Okay, so this is my property name. This is my variable name I have created in the top. If you see, this is a variable name available in the top. Okay, and same thing, and whenever your right side and left side both are same, then what you can do, instead of creating like this, you can simply write like a username. This is also fine anyway. Okay, so let me write it in the second way, something like this. Okay, now this payload I will give as argument to the my login API. Okay, but now the important point what we want is I want to verify whether this is a successful or not, right? So that is the reason I will write a comma here, and I will write one callback my function. Okay, something like this. Okay, so here I am writing a response arrow symbol, and I am writing like this. Okay, so let me write first, remove it. So first, second, I want to write one argument and open bracket and close bracket, something like this. Okay, here I'm going to take the what is the response something. Okay, so here I'm taking one callback function. This is a normal way. Let's go here. Here, how many arguments I'm taking? Only one. So that is the reason I will add another here. I will say callback. Okay, so whenever my response is coming, I am going to return a, I am going to call a callback. So there is an interview question yesterday. What is a callback function? So let us see again here. So callback function is nothing but a sending a function as an argument to the another function, and this function will be called whenever the first function work is done. Then this callback function will be executed. Okay, we want to wait till that function is executed, then we will call the callback. That is nothing but a callback function. Now we are calling, right? Okay, and we'll write the catch also. Let us write one catch also. Why you want to write a catch? If there isn't any error, we want to handle it, right? That is the reason we want to write a catch. So inside the catch, again I am writing a catch and I am writing a error. That is okay. File, save all, and let us write. Now this time I have removed my admin. Okay, let us try with the admin. Okay, and type admin. Click inspect and check it here in the right side. You are going to, there should be a network call because we are integrating with the backend, right? So there should be a network call. Let's go to login network here. Okay, so let us type the admin and admin again. Click on login. See what is the error here? See 401. There is an error, right? There is a network call. See, there is an API, it is called, and inside the API, what is the response we are getting? 401. In interview, they will ask, what is the meaning of 400? 400 means a bad request. Our data is not correct. 400 means 401 means you do not have any permission. See, there is some problem with your username and password, and your username and password is not correct, and that is the reason you are getting a 401. Okay, okay, now we are saying 401, right? So this means it is a wrong one, it is not a correct one. You can go and check in the console. See, there is an error. Inside the error we are saying like this is the error message. Okay, this error message is printing from here only. You can see error occurred. Suppose we know how to write a toast, right? We can write a toast also. So let us remove here and write one toast message also. Okay, toast dot error. Okay, I'll say something error occurred, invalid credentials, something. Let's clear it and log in. See, invalid credentials. We got this toast, right? That is okay. Okay, now that means there is something wrong with my username and password, right? Because it's not correct. Now I want to enter correct username and password. How do you know whether it's correct or not? Let's go to our users API and click on execute. Already we know the username and password, right? This time let us enter some correct username and password. Okay, so this is my username. I will enter here and I will copy my password. My password is this one. Okay, I'll enter here. Okay, let's clear it and this time login. See, this time you see the response. Status code is equal to 200 and access header. Forget about this access header. See, access token is there, right? This means whatever the login we have done from the Swagger, same token, similar token we are also getting from the code also. If you go to our console, this is the console code, right? See, we got all the data. Okay, so this is your roles. This is you successfully logged in. This is your token name. Okay, so let us try to identify what is the token information is available. Let me copy the full token. Okay, so now we okay, right? So we are able to successfully log in. But even though we are logging, see here, it is not at all moving to the next screen. So that is the reason we need to fix this one. Okay, let's go to our code here. Okay, whenever we are calling the callback, that means we are okay with this one. Okay, whenever there is a fail, already I'm showing a toast messages. Okay, correct. So now I can go to my callback here and go to my login API, login.js. Here we have written something like this, right? Here I'm going to open bracket. So whatever the code previously you have written here, whatever the code you have previously written here, I am going to copy all this code and add it here. Okay, I will explain. Let me explain what these lines will do. Okay, so right format. So this dispatch code, what it will do, we are going to update our state. Hey user, update my username here, whatever the username, that is this line. Okay, and dispatch fetch users, this will load the, suppose once you are logging in, there is a users tab is there, right? It will load all the user information. Okay, and history dot push, what it will do, it will navigate to the dashboard page. That is the reason. Okay, that is the reason we are writing this a callback. Okay, so let us file, save all. Let us try this time. Okay, click on login. So once this is logged in, still there is no why it is a, let me save all, file, save all. And one more thing, what you can do here, you can write one console statement. Okay, console.log response, and let me just comment out this api.js console. Okay, so here I'll say our data will be there inside the response data. In the Axios, our data will be there inside the data property. That is the reason I'm writing a response data property. Let us see here. Okay, so again I'm going to click on login. See this time what happened? Automatically sidebar is coming, and let me comment out here. Just okay. If you see what is the username I'm getting here, this is a dynamic username. I am not hard coding any user. Correct, right? Whatever the username I have logged in, that same user is logging here. Correct, right? And we are having a logout button also. And if you click the dashboard, and you are going to get all the data also. See here. And if you are going to companies, we did not write the company data. Let's click on the users. So you are going to get all this data here dynamically. Okay, and you can click on logout. Whenever you are clicking logout, again you will go out. Okay, so here the first step what we have done is we have done the integration. So we have login with our backend. So we are done with the Axios. Correct, right? And the second thing is, based on the login, we are showing the sidebar also. Now if you are typing admin, this will not work at all. Always you are going to throw an error only, invalid password. Okay, now second step is, whatever the response it is coming from server. See, what is the response we are getting from serving? We are getting some token, right? The token information we need to store in our session storage. How many storages we have it? Two types. What are the two types? Local storage, session storage. Okay, whenever you want to store user related information, we should store in a session storage, because whenever we are closing our tab, we want to remove our data. I don't want to store my permanent data to the system. Okay, that is not a good design. So whenever you want to store user related information, which storage you should store? A session storage. That is the reason. Now I got that data, right? I want to store the data to my storage. Let us try to do this. So what are the methods available if you want to store any information? So there is a session storage data set item. Okay, so what is a method? Session storage is an object, set item is a method. Here you can write any name. Okay, I will say session -key. Any name you can keep it here. You can keep any name, no problem. Okay, based on the project name, you can keep anything. This is my session key. Where is my session data is available? If you see the console inside the object, okay, inside the object, there is one property called access token. Or you can go to Swagger and verify it. Where is the data is there? Okay, if you see what is the property name here, access token. I'll copy this property. I'll go here. So I will say response dot data dot access token. Okay, because my data will be there inside here only. Okay, clear, right? I have stored it. So now I want to verify whether this storage is coming or not. I will copy here whatever the thing. I'll go to my login. Okay. So before this callback, I'll set it here. Okay. Now I will go to my login API. Here, what I will try to do, I will print that token, whatever the token I have stored it, right? I'll try to get it. How to get the token? What is the method name? Get item. What is the method name? Get item. So in which class I am setting my storage API.js, where I am trying to print it in login.js. Correct, right? Once you set in one component, you can access it anywhere in the project you can access it. Okay. So let us try to see what is the value. Let us try to let constant key something, and let's print that value console dot log of key. Okay, something like this. File, save all. Okay, let us try to reload again. Let us clear it again. Okay, so let's log in with the username and password. What are the username? So this is my username abc@gmail.com, and password is something pw. Okay, so I'm going to log in here. Okay, so once you are going to log in, that is okay. So see here, this is the token. This is the token I am printing. See line number 73, login.js line number 73. Go to login.js line number 73. What is the line I am writing? Key only. That means once you storage in one file, you can access in any other file, not only in that file. In the JavaScript program, we are in the top we have written, in the bottom we are reading. But now we are writing in one file, we are reading in another file. Like this you can read it. Okay, now we have stored our data in where session storage. If I am closing my tab, whether data will be there or it will be deleted, data will be deleted. We don't want to store that data. Okay, that is fine. Now why we don't want to remove remove that data? Why we want to remove it? Suppose I will copy this token. Okay, and we know how to see the JWT token, right? You can see the jwt.io, and whatever the token we got it, right? Go to this website and enter that website details here. Whatever the token we have, it is still loading. Once it is loaded, I will add this here. Okay. Okay, still loading. Okay, so here we can copy paste our token. In the right side, we can see the data, original data, like what is the username, what is the roles. So see here, I'm going to copy paste my token here. Okay, so here see the token here, ma. So this is the token. This is the right side. Right side is a decrypted one. What is the username I'm using it? abc@gmail.com. What is the user ID? One. What are the roles we are having it? Role underscore user and role underscore admin. Okay, till what time my login is there? This is some number, right? If you hover it, see March 29th, 10:30. That means this token is valid till 1 day. Some company, that token will be valid only for half an hour. If you go to banking website, the token will be only valid for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, the token at all, no use at all. Okay, it will expire. It will not work at all. But here, since we are not working with any security project, we are giving a 1 day. So this is nothing but a date number. If you are giving this to date, automatically you are going to get the end period. Okay, so now you are seeing, right? So this is a JWT token. Inside the JWT token, mainly three parts will be there. Okay, so the first part is a header part. Okay, and second part is a payload part, and third part is a signature part. Okay, so this within these three parts, this is a token I have copied it, right? Then how can I verify here? Very simple. This parts will be divided with the dot separator. If you see, till the dot one color is there, after the dot there is another color is there, again dot there is another color is there. So based on this dot you can identify how many parts are there. Three parts is there. Okay, first part header, second part payload, third part is a our for like signature, like a what is the signature. In the header part, they will write like a what is the algorithm they are using it. Okay, so what is the algorithm we are using for this technique? This is the first part. There is algorithm called HS256. That is one algorithm name. Okay, and second part, payload, like what is the details we are storing as part of this token. These are the details. Okay, and third part, what is the signature for verifying whether this is correct token or not. That signature. Okay, these are the three parts available inside the JWT token. Okay, so as part of our knowledge, what you have to say? Okay, JWT is one token which will have three parts: header, payload, and signature. Okay, backend will get, who will generate the token? Backend, when it will generate on login only. Whenever we are logging in, it will generate the token. That token where we need to store? we need to store inside the session storage. Once we done the session storage, now we have done the session storage, right? Where you can access it, anywhere in the project. Anywhere in the project we can use it or not. Now let's go to one more API. Okay, let me have one demo here. And what we want to do here is, there is one API called my profile. Okay, that means whatever the user is logged in, he can click on his icon, automatically we want to show his information, like what is his username, address, and all these details. For this reason, if you click here, and it is requiring one argument, authorization token. If I'm without that, if I'm executing here, I am getting a you are not authorized. What is the error code I'm getting? A 401. 401 means what? You do not have a permission. You bloody rascal, go out. You do not have a permission at all. If this error is coming from backend, you are absolutely doing wrong. Front end, not the backend issue. 401 means you do not have a permission. You need to send the token. That is the meaning. Okay. Now, what is the error? You are not authorized. Now, what I will do? Already I have some token, right? So now I will play with my token. Okay. I will go here and I will try to enter my token here. Okay. Let me see my token here. This is my token, and click on execute. Whenever I'm giving my token, this time it is coming very nicely. 200. I am okay. You are valid. You are perfectly valid. See, please take your details. It is giving very politely all the details. So that means without this token, backend will not give response. Correct, right? If you are sending this token, then only backend will give the response. Okay, like this, all the APIs we need to send the token. If you want to send the token for all the APIs, it is difficult, right? To solve this problem only, we have one concept. What is that concept? That concept is nothing but interceptors. Correct, right? If I have 10 APIs like this, in all the API I need to send the token, right? In all the API I cannot send it token. That is difficult. To solve this problem, we have a what is the concept? Interceptor. Interceptor is nothing but it is a mediator. For every request before it is going to server, first it will go to here. Hey boss, can I send a request to server or not? It will take permission. Okay, you go. Then only it will go. Otherwise, you want no, then it will stop it. Okay. Without interceptor, you will not send any request to the server. It is like a mediator. Okay. Now here, now what is the token name? We have stored it here. What is the token name here? I'm storing it a session hyphen key. Okay, I will copy here, and same token I will go and add it here. What is the token I'm trying to get it here? I'll add it. So whenever I'm trying to get it, now I'll get the token, right? So now I got the token. Okay, and I'm trying to add it to the headers. Okay, config data headers, and what is the key I want to add it? Authorization hyphen key. Okay, this is the header key. We need to send it. Whenever you are joining into company, the backend developer will give the name. What is the name of header? This is the name of my header. Okay, so this is key. Who will give this key? Backend developer will tell, hey Sudhakar, like hey Trinits, you use this name. This is the name, you should use it. Okay, something, and you will write like this. Okay, now I have written. Okay, right? So let us file, save all. Now what we will do, once we are logging in, let us debug our network calls here. Okay, let us go to our network calls, login, and type login here. This is okay. Let's go to employees. Okay, so whenever you are going for employees, there is a API call. Okay, let me see here, and this is the get call. Okay, so inside the get, go and verify, is there any token it is going. See, who is sending this token? I am not adding this token. Who is adding this token? Interceptor. Interceptor. We have added our tag, right? Whenever we have logged in, what we have done? We got the token. The token where we are stored, session storage. And we went to the interceptor, and inside the interceptor, what is the code? What is the code we have added? Session storage dot get item. Automatically you will get the token, right? If you have a token, you will get it. Otherwise, you will not get the token. That is okay. And you are adding as a authorization hyphen key. Okay, now we are automatically added, right? Suppose let us see for another API. Suppose there is another API I want to call it. Let's go to users. Suppose there is another API you want to see it, or you can go for any API. You click on any API, automatically this header will be sending it to the server. You no need to do anything extra. If suppose your token is expired, backend will throw another error again 401. Hey user, your session is expired. Go again. Whenever that error is coming again, what we have to do? Again we are log out. We should log out from user, from front end. Again they will enter username password, right? That time again we'll get a new token. Then again this process will work out. Whenever we get the token error, we want to log out. Again, we want to, when again they will click on login, right? So they will do this process again. So this should do this. Okay. This process is nothing but a authentic. This is authentication or authorization. Authentication. Okay. So whenever you are going for an interview, they will ask, can you tell me how authentication works in your project? Then you'll say, so we have developed a login screen, and inside the login screen, what we have done a validations. Whenever we are clicking a login and we are writing one API, inside that API, what is the code you have written? If you go to your login.api, so we have written our access code, and inside the access code, once we are, if my username password is correct, we are going to get one token. Correct, right? What is the token name? Access token. Okay. So, and the token where you are storing it inside the session storage. And after the session storage, and you are going for interceptor, and you are adding that value to here. And for every request, we will be sending that token. If the token is valid, server will give the response. If token is expired, it will throw an error. Whenever it is throwing an error, we will catch it and we will redirect to the logout API. Automatically log out. Then this flow will work out. Okay. So this is nothing about the authentication. Okay. So let us see here what are the concepts we have covered. Now we have done with the integration. Okay. And we have saved our token to session storage. This is also done. And we are sending our token to the interceptor also. These all things are done, right? Okay. And now we want to show our profile with the something like this. So now we want to call this API. Okay. So now we want to call this API. Which API we want to call it? My profile. Okay. If you want to call your my profile API, what is the URL? Here there is a URL. Okay. Simply copy till here only. This is my URL. Okay. And you can call that API whenever you want to write any new API. First step, what do you have to do? We have to write endpoints.js. And like, what is this API now? Export constant. What is this API? My profile. Okay. We can say user underscore profile, something like this. Okay. So this is an API. Now you want to call this API. Okay. Where you need to store this data. Okay. What you have to do? You click on login. So here we are showing like this, right? Instead of showing like this, here I want to have a drop down. Okay. Inside the drop down, I want to have a two options. One is a my profile. Second is a logout option. If you want a drop down, you can simply go to Bootstrap. Okay. Bootstrap 5, something like this. Drop down. So already we have installed the Bootstrap to our project, right? So we can directly, let's go to 5. What is the latest? Let's go to the latest here. Okay. And here you can go to examples, docs. Okay. Now we want a drop down. Okay, now we have the drop down. Okay. Suppose here we have some drop down, right? This drop down I want to have it. So here already code is there. I will copy the code. Okay, where I want to paste it inside my header.js. Let's go to header.js. Okay. So already somewhere I have written my username, right? Let us see where I have written. This is the place I have written. Okay. So I will simply paste it here. Whatever the code I have written, I'll simply paste it here. Later I will work on it. Okay, that's fine. So let's see here. Okay. So this drop down is popper is not working. Okay. If this is not working, there is only one small problem. You need to import the one JS. Okay. One JS. Let's go to our introduction, and there is a one JS you need to import. Here there is a bootstrap bundle.js will be there, or you can import this two JS. Like there will be JS will popper and JS. I'm just copying these two details. And you can go and add it inside the where public folder index.html here. Okay, I'm not adding bootstrap CSS. I'm adding only popper.js, min.js, not the CSS. Okay, I have done. Save it. Let me reload the project. Okay, let me reload it. See, now this time working right. Bootstrap is working right. Now what I want to do? I want to show this one only whenever I logged in, and I want to remove these two options, and I want to have a my profile and a logout option. Whenever I log out, I want to go back, and I want to remove this one. Okay, let us do cleanup here. Okay, so first step, let me go here and go to my header.js. Okay, go to my header.js. Here I am writing like this entire div is nothing but a that bootstrap code. If you want to show the my login button, when I want to show it, only whenever I'm having a username, I want to show it. That is the reason what I'm going to do. I'm going to write a JSX code. Okay. And this, I will remove this closing symbol. I will add after the div. Okay. I will add after the div. Here, I want to display this div, only username is there. Okay. I want to display this div, only username is there. If username is not there, okay. And what I want to do, I want to write a null value. I want to return a null value. Right click, format the document. So, and I will, here I have the username, right? I will copy the username and I will remove the span. Okay. I don't want that span itself. Okay, that's fine. And here I have a drop down, right? I will go and add here. Something like this, username. Okay. Okay. And here I am having action. So first step, I will change it like a my profile. And second, I will add it as a logout, and third one I will remove it. I don't want right now, later we can add it. See here, and we want to remove this button also. I don't want this remove button itself, or we can have it login. Okay, so if I am going to log in here, see, this is the abc@gmail.com. My profile is there, logout is there. Whenever I want to click logout, I want to navigate away. So you know what is the action you should do. Suppose there is already method here we have written. If you see here, there is a method already, we handle logout. This method is there, right? Let us copy this method. Okay, I am copying and go to your where is this is the logout, right? Okay, I'll go here and I'll write a click event. Do you know how to write a click event? On click is equal to something like this. Okay, file save all. Okay, and remove this href is equal to hashma. That is dangerous. Remove it. Okay, login again, login. Okay, and click on logout. Correct, right? And somebody will have a doubt. Why my drop down is coming here? Okay, because you are adding what element? If you see here, what element you are adding? Div. Div is a block level element or a like a inline element? Block level element. You can work on that span. Like you can make a. This is not a block level. You want to write like a d-inline. Okay, inline block, something like this. See, automatically d-inline block means the display inline block. Automatically it's coming. Suppose you want to go to move it to the right side. Do you know what is the thing? ml-auto, ms-auto. So if this is not working, or you can go for a float property. If this is not working, later you can go for a float property, like a float-right. You can work on that layout. This is a little bit things, right? Okay, something like now you have my profile. Whenever you are clicking my profile, now what I want to do, you want to write another component. I don't want any sidebar. Whenever I want to click my profile, I want to write a new component. Inside that new component, I want to display this data. My user ID is 1 and my username is this one. My email is this one and age. I want to write one card. Suppose I want to write like a card. Paint is like this. This will be home, like a homework for you guys. Let us see. I want to open a page like this. Here I want to write like a my name here. First I want to write like here my name, like my profile, something like this. Okay, or I can show one example page also. Let me go to my okay example. Let's go to something login here. Okay, suppose here we have it, right? My profile is there. Same example. See here, I'll just reset out here. Okay, so this is my profile here, personal, and whatever the information you are having it, something, whatever the information. So whatever the API data it is returning, you display that data. Suppose this is your username, this is the data, whatever the data you want, you write one card. Inside the card, you display all the data, something like this. Okay, so this is the work. You can do that one. You know that API, you can simply call it and display that data inside the app. Okay, that's the data. Okay, so now we have cleaned out the logout also. So this is the one.